Nigeria's acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, presided over the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday at the council chambers of the presidential villa, Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari had changed the kick-off time of the weekly meeting from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. after returning from his last medical trip in March. The president, on his return, had been absent from the meeting following ill health, and this generated a lot of reactions across the country. On Sunday, Buhari returned to London for a medical follow-up after meeting with the 82 released Chibok girls. He didn't state when he would return to Nigeria in the letter sent to the National Assembly.
Some of the objectives of that office will be to help us to coordinate the various trade discussions and negotiations that we hold, and to achieve coherence in our policies so that our policies will pull our trade together, and also to be, as part of an offensive strategy in the sense of, being proactive in engaging, the discussions we're having, say, on the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement that we're negotiating, or other free trade agreements that we'll enter into with strategic partners all over the world. And then finally, it will also help us in our implementation of the economic recovery and growth plan, because clearly there's an intention to engage and work with other countries in that process.
Our State House correspondent Mariah Olasehinde now joins us from Abuja. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Ikechukwu.
Yeah, can you give us a brief of what transpired during the meeting? First of all, the acting president now, did he stick to the time, 11, that the president, who is now abroad, had to change it to?
Yeah, thank you very much. The meeting started at about 10 a.m. this morning, unlike the past 3 weeks when the meeting started about 11, since the president came back from the medical vacation. But just like it's making the round, Osinbajo takes full charge. It started about 10 a.m. this morning, and some ministers came in quite late because they were thinking the meeting would start at about 11 a.m. So as soon as he came in, they had the opening prayers, the national anthem, and we, the journalists, were asked to go out. So after that, we go to the council chambers and wait for the briefing. So the 4 ministers that briefed are the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, then Rotimi Amechi, and Minister of Trade and Industry, Okechukwu Enelama. And basically, they said they approved 3 memorandas. One is to establish the Nigerian Office for Trade Negotiations in Nigeria. The minister explained that the reason why this is because of our bilateral relations between Nigeria and other countries, and because of the discrepancies that they see in ministries. So with the establishment of these ministries, there will be transparency and there will be openness. Just like you heard the minister saying, he said the cabinet decided it was time to establish a coordinating central office for trade negotiations. It will also implement the economic recovery and growth plan, which is a key point to the heart of this administration. Then Lai Mohammed also spoke on the controversy going around that if the vice president is asked to be a coordinating vice president or an acting president, Lai Mohammed said it was a needless controversy, and people since the letter states section 145, subsection 1 of the Constitution, that settles it that the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, is fit to lead the country.
All right, talking about the time issue, you remember in January when the president pulled a fast one on everyone, and he came in like 10 minutes before the meeting started. That's perhaps what happened today. But I'd like to know how many ministers showed up out of 36 ministers. How many of them can you count?
We had about 20 of them. Some of them came with the Minister for State. We have the Minister for Administration and the Minister of State. I think there are about 15 or 20. The Minister of Health, the Foreign Affairs, the Minister for Ngige was around, and a lot of them, about 15 or 20 there, but it was actually a full house. Minister of Aviation and Minister of Water Resources, Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, was also around.
All right, Maria, let's get this. One would have thought that ordinarily there will be a memo to the effect that the meeting was going to start at 10 instead of 11. One wouldn't blame those that came late. Why wasn't this done? Would you know?
That I can say, but I think that, yeah, I actually don't know the reason. But just like you said, I think a memo should have been passed to the ministers that the meeting will be on for 10. That I can say. I think the president's handlers will be able to say that. But we just noticed that about 10 the meeting started and few ministers were actually rushing in. Even when the memo was passed that there will be a meeting at 11, you see some people still rushing in at about past 11.
Okay, what happened after the meeting?
Maybe there was a breach in communication or thereabouts, I can actually say.
No, all right, Maria, after the meeting, after the briefing, was there anything substantial? What happened? Did anything happen that's worthy of note?
No, nothing. There was no drama that happened. There was nothing that happened. The ministers that were to brief will come into the council chambers and other ministers will go to their office. There was nothing of...
Okay, all right.
Happened.
Thank you very much, Correspondent Maria.